Hello, and welcome to the Coin Pusher Challenge Christmas Special. We are now overlooking the town of Porterville. It's early Christmas morning. Santa is just completing his run. But as he passed over Porterville, a gust of wind blew a bunch of presents off his sleigh and onto the ground. And he's asked us to pick the presents up for him in time for him to swing back, grab them, and get them to all the boys and girls by Christmas morning. So here we go to get the presents off for Santa. While we're doing this, since it seems to be appropriate, I'm going to tell the story of how we had my son. A lot of people, well, I'm pretty certain you know how they make babies. Well, it wasn't that easy for us. My wife and I were older. We both had issues. And we wound up having to go to a fertility doctor. I'm betting many of you have. It's surprising how many people have. Oh, something fell off. So we went to the fertility doctor, and he said that we had to do IVF, what's called in vitro fertilization, but I'm just going to call it IVF. And that it would probably take at least 3 rounds before it works. And anyone who's been through it knows, first my wife had to go through day after day of shots, and then after a certain time, more shots, different shots, and lots of scans and blood tests. Well, at first, all this led to was miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, which was absolutely heartbreaking. At one point, we lost twins. Trust me, this has a happy ending. So, then, just when it looked like this one might hold, my wife started bleeding very badly. And we had no choice but to jump in the car and rush to the fertility doctor, and we had promised each other that if this didn't work, we would find a child to adopt. And I know people tend to want to have their own kids, but anyone who adopts is a hero in my book. There's a child out there with no one to raise them, and you step up, you're a hero. So we blow into the fertility doctor's office in a panic. And of course, we kept waiting an hour or so, thinking it's all over. Then we go in, and they set my wife up for an ultrasound. And the next thing we hear is bum 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 bum, my son's heartbeat. So that had worked. It had worked. We had our son was growing happily and steadily inside my wife. And then the head fertility doctor wanted to double check. I assume because he wanted to get paid. I don't know why exactly. But I pulled out a tape recorder because this was like over 20 years ago that we had the tape recorder. And recorded my son's heartbeat, which was just the most amazing sound. And I know it happens every day, and I know people hear it every day, but it's really hard to convey just how amazing that is. So you think, hey, all's good from there. But my wife had issues with the pregnancy. Because, basically, because why should anything just go smoothly? And she wound up being put on bed rest, off and on, for almost 6 months of her pregnancy. And one of the things that was getting to her during a particularly long stretch was, she couldn't go to the beauty parlor. She couldn't get her nails done. This is before the web. This is before you could order anything on earth just by tapping a few keys. So I said, darn it, I'm going to get somebody to come into our house and give my wife a mani-pedi. Just cheer her up as little bit as I can. Because you might, and she was absolutely miserable. But, her friends would call and say, boy, I'd like to, be told I have to lay down in a bed for 3 months. And my wife would say, yeah. And they only, something came up. And they only let you get up twice a day to pee. Would you like that? So I went around, and there was about, and I'm not overestimating this, I live in New York, we're pretty crowded. There were about 20 nail salons, mostly Korean, right near our house. I mean, within a 5-minute drive. So I went to the first one, I explained the situation. There was a bit of a language barrier. And they said, absolutely, they do not do that. They do not send anyone home. And they looked at me like I was some kind of creep. And it's like, there goes some more. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. My wife's on bed rest. I'm just trying to make her feel better, and you're treating me like a creep. So I went to a different nail salon, because what else would you do? And not only they also say they don't do that, but they also treat me like a creep. And on and on and on. And I have no idea what's in the end, and I don't like to say this, I'm sure Josh will back me up on this, I don't like to fail. When I do something I like to get it done. So, so I try and I try and I try, nothing. And my wife did find out I tried, and she was so appreciative, but I really wanted to get that done for her. And we're doing a pretty good job of clearing out the backfield here. Oop. And backfield's clear. Okay, now we got to concentrate on getting them off the front. Advice, Josh, advice. Otherwise, this isn't live. Because as you folks can probably guess, I barely know what I'm doing. I'm going to try and adjust this a little bit so you can see the edge now that there's nothing in the back. Okay, so those presents are right on the edge. So I was really pissed. But, thank goodness, or thank whatever you want, I don't care, as long as it worked out. My wife had the baby, went into labor, rushed her to the hospital because that's the only thing that husbands are good for at a time like that. And just to give us one last kick in the head, turned out our son's umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. So we had to go for a cesarean. Again, fairly routine, but not fun. And he came out, and then for like 30 seconds there was no sound at all. And after everything we'd been going through, everything, we were going, oh no, it's not going to, this isn't going to be it, is it? He's not going to make it? But then, suddenly we hear, wah, that special newborn cry. And there he was, totally complete, beautiful, excellent APGAR scores. And they put him right on my wife's breast to start nursing, and he just went at it. Right away, no problems latching on, no problems at all. And they kept him there for about 30 minutes until he had his fill and came off the breast. And then they said, well, now that he's filled up, we have to take him to get weighed and measured and treated with, I don't know, vitamin K or something like that. I don't know what it is. Some UV light that keeps infections away from newborns. And it's like, I'm fine with that. I thought, until they started wheeling him out of my sight. And at that point, I was ready to kill him. And they had done nothing wrong. They were doing their job. But I didn't want to let him out of my sight for a minute. And but there he was, a whole human being who is now 21 years old, and I know you'll all be surprised to hear this, a lot bigger than he was when he was born. When he was born, you carry him around in your arm like a football. Oh, we're getting lucky here, folks. They're coming off. So, it's just so amazing that you can make a whole person And I gotta tell you this is not fair at all. But when you're going through all these treatments and all this horror to have a baby, and you hear about people who got pregnant by accident, it's like, oh, bad word you. But there we go. We have our son and we love him. And you may have seen him on one of these videos, or seen some of his artwork, and none of that would have come into the world. Wait a minute. How did another present pop up in the backfield? I could have sworn. I was just but oh, I have another story. This was interesting. It all relates. While my wife was on bed rest, obviously she couldn't come down from the second floor, or even stand up if she was on the first floor. If there was a doorbell, right? If a package was being delivered, if groceries were being delivered, it's not like my wife could get up and go shopping. So, put up a sign that says, "Pregnant woman on bed rest. Do not ring bell. Just leave package." The UPS guy we had then just kept leaning on the bell over and over again. He said, "I can't leave your package. There's a construction site across the place. You know, it's not safe. It's my fault if these get lost. You know, blah blah blah." And it's like, so I called his boss at our local office, and she said, "There's nothing we can do. It's up to the discretion of the driver." I said, "Can you send another driver?" He said, "No." So I did what I always do, and then what I recommend to everybody. I called UPS National Headquarters, and I asked for the vice president in charge of customer service. Let's see if I can get that red one off the back there. I left a message, and that's right, she called me back. And the reason it's important that it's she is because when I told her what was going on, she said, "I will take care of this immediately because I was on bed rest for 5 months when I was pregnant." You know, and sometimes it takes a woman to know what a woman is going through. That worked out very well, and boy was the driver pissed. Because they kept him on, even though it's like his boss's boss's boss had gotten a call about him. You know, the executives who run the place had gotten a call specifically about him. For some reason, that didn't make his direct boss very happy. And she wasn't very happy either, because I'd given them her name too. I wish this was live, because then you guys could give me some suggestions on how to get that red thing down. I know some of you are going to say, "Just keep pouring them in." It's like, oh, you're not wrong. And if you wonder why there's no limit or anything on this, it's because For God's sakes, it's Christmas Eve in Quarter Town. Or was it Quarterville? Quarter something. It's Christmas Eve in Quarterville. And everybody was very generous. Can we get that red one off? And everyone was very generous. And it's like sort of like the end of It's a Wonderful Life, where the whole town turns out for George Bailey. Well, the whole town turned out with quarters for the coin pusher. There! Sit down. Okay. I'm gonna have to take just a second here to do a clean out. In the meantime, if it's out the middle of the night, call all your loved ones, wish them a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, or whatever makes you feel good. And you know, if someone wishes you a Merry Christmas, fine, say Merry Christmas back. If someone wishes you Happy Holidays, just say Happy Holidays back. It's not the time of year to start a fight over words. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Back here, take a look. We got a whole bunch of presents off. We got about half of them off. Now we just got to get the rest of them off. And we don't have, we don't have all that much time left. Because it's, Santa's got a very busy schedule. But, see, I always thought it was good that I knew Santa personally. But no, that means I get a call at 3 in the morning to go stand in the snow and rescue his presents. But you know what? I could not be more honored. Honored that Santa felt he could count on me to get up and do it. Although it suddenly occurred to me, I don't know how many people he called first who said no, but I'm just so honored to be on his list anywhere. After this, people are always talking about whether you get a present or coal in your stocking or whatever. But it's cold out there. I mean, I know we don't use coal anymore, but if Santa wanted to fill up my oil heater or cover my gas bill, that would be okay. Oh, there goes another one. I think I should do what Josh does and just put in as many as I can in a row. There we go. We got some down. Whoa, that was a fall. So I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely time. I hope all your kids are home safe and warm and happy. Hope you're home safe and warm and happy. Pretty much my attitude is, yeah, some people do stupid things. And some people are mean. But you know what? At least one day a year, everybody deserves a little happiness, don't you think? I'm just, I'll be happy if anybody stayed and is watching through this whole thing. But it's what Santa would want you to do. You should always do what Santa wants. Well, we have a little bit of a traffic jam on the right. Well, you know, it's Christmas, traffic can get piled up. Everybody leaves early trying to beat the traffic, and they found out that everybody else left early to beat the traffic too. So, I wish I knew what you guys were doing for Christmas. Us, we're probably going to see a movie, ordering some Chinese food. You know, follow the, you know, hope a choir, you know, a choral group comes by because our son would love to sing with them. He actually got invited to sing with one. But we couldn't find anybody. You know, as I've often said, our son is autistic. And so he does kind of, especially if there's going to be kids there, he's going to need someone to supervise him. And believe it or not, it's kind of hard to find someone who wants to work on Christmas. And who also knows the Christmas carols. Neighborhood I live in has all different kinds of people. I'm Jewish, we have Muslims, we have Christians, and it just works out so well because any day in the week, any time of the year, it's not somebody's holiday. So you go into a supermarket on Christmas morning and you see that the registers are all manned by their Muslim and Jewish people for whom Christmas is not a big deal. Then you go in on a Muslim holiday and it's Christians and Jews. You go in on a Jewish holiday and it's Muslims and Christians. I mean, it's all, we're all there for each other. And do we always get along? No. But do you always get along with your neighbors? I doubt it. Nobody gets along with their neighbors 100% of the time. But that makes it kind of a nice place to live. Because I know New Yorkers of all kinds get a bad rap, but mostly we all have really sharp, nasty sense of humor. Well, not nasty, but you know, we're all a bunch of smart you-know-whats. And That means, and this is, this is my theory of life. Any two people with a sense of humor can get along. It's just the way it is. If you have a sense of humor, if you can tell a joke, if you can cheer someone up who's sad, it's a great thing to do on Christmas or on any day of the year. You know what, guys? We're running out of, despite all those quarters, I'm going to have to do another shoe clean out. Even though we're running way down to the end of the presents. Okay, be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. Listen, I tell you, I wouldn't normally cheat on a coin pusher, but it's Christmas. And we're running out of time before Santa needs these presents. So I'm just going to take them right on out here. So, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So, here are all the presents for a quarter bill that Santa's going to swing by and give out. So, I'm going to leave the music on for just a little bit. And, I'll turn off in about, half a minute. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the music, but I just realized I didn't finish the nail salon story. So to recap quickly, my wife was on bed rest during her pregnancy. I was trying to get someone to come in and do her nails and fingernails and toenails, mani-pedi, whatever they call it. And I'd gone to like 20 nail salons in our area, and not only had they said no, they won't send someone to my wife's house, they all acted as if I was a creep. And it's like, what is this? What was this? Right? Well, about 6 months after my son was born, there's this big headline in the local paper: chain of brothels shut down. And it turned out all those nail salons were fronts for houses of ill repute. So when I went in there, in all honesty, was just looking for a mani-pedi for my wife, they thought I wanted to take one of their workers, let's say, one of their workers home with me. And that's why they were treating me like a creep. Because, that's... apparently they have some sort of sense of restraint, and that's one of the things they don't allow. So, on the one hand, it was nice to understand why they'd said no. On another, apparently I'm the kind of guy that hookers think is a creep, which is something of an accomplishment. But, again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Everybody think good thoughts. Be kind to each other. Be nice to each other. Be generous when you can. Help, if see a guy trying to put something up across the street, go over and help him. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it just helps. I'm gonna shut up and let the music play for 30 seconds or so, and thanks for watching.